1. Welcome everybody, my name is Mr. Llama and today I am bringing you a PvP. This is going to be on GSL Atlantis Spaceship between Loogicc, the blue Protoss spawning up in the top. I'm just going to say the top, and spawning down in the bottom left corner. We do have MVPTAILS, the orange Protoss. And I must say, it is extremely difficult to call positions out on these maps that are tilted like this to the right. Because you're like trying to say the top left, but he's not on the top left of the screen at all. And oh, this is actually the map that has the, oops, I shouldn't have done that. That has the little bear face over there on the map. So looks like a little teddy bear kind of. So this is going to be PvP, as I had kind of stated before. And definitely a matchup that has grown on me. I know a lot of players still kind of dislike the matchup. It's definitely one of the stranger mirrors, and more just like, alright, you know, very set in its ways kind of mirrors. But I think a lot of players actually have kind of taken this whole mirror matchup and really explored a lot about it. And of course, you know, there's no like crazy Nexus first or anything like that like you'll see in other matchups or anything, as of course 4-gate simply is the test. Will the build hold up against 4-gate? And if it will not, then that's going to be it. And right here, Loogicc, we do see checking for the 2-gate just in case his opponent did send that probe early, the 6 probe right there, to go for some sort of forge, cannon rush, or 2-gate. And of course there isn't one at all. Tails being a manner person right here and not going for that, but Tails actually getting the later gas, and that's something I definitely want to take note of right there. That's a huge thing, throwing down that second pylon before throwing down an assimilator, as usually players will throw down, they'll go pylon, gateway, assimilator, simply in that order. And will Loogicc get here in time to really scout this? Of course, if he does, he is sending the probe, so when he does get here, he can click on this and see the remaining gas left in the assimilator and be like, whoa, that's off from mine by like 60 gas. But do all players do that, or is he simply going to assume that Tails has been mining the whole time? I don't know. We'll have to see, and we'll have to see what exactly Tails is going to do with that right there. It looks like it got him some additional minerals, of course. That would make sense. Some additional minerals over his opponent, as you can see. So he's throwing down a second gate right now, and will he be going for some sort of 2-gate, 3-stalker push? It looks like that's what we will be seeing out of Loogicc, and that's actually a very, very safe opening from Protoss. That, as I was kind of saying, you know, players are now starting to explore it and stuff. The 2-stalker opening is a, or 3-stalker opening, I should say, off 2-gate is an extremely interesting matchup, or interesting open. Wow, he actually went for the Zealot first. I thought he was getting a stalker out right there. No, he was not. But he's going to see this probe over here. But yeah, so right up here we can see the 3-stalker opening is an extremely safe build, as it does allow you to get out, move around with these stalkers, and then if your opponent sends out that stalker zealot composition, you can simply pick off that zealot pretty easily, and of course force that stalker to run back, or kill it if they miss micro at all right there. And it's also useful because you can get out and deny proxy pylons for 4-gate. So it's possible, or what we'll probably see when this 3rd stalker gets out right here, and he's actually going for additional stalkers beyond this, what we will probably see is Loogicc pushing out, I would imagine, to start looking for forward pylons, anything like that. But I guess he did get in the base and did not see any indication of a 4-gate, as he was dropping that second gas, and he was mining from that second gas for a decent amount of time. And he had dropped a 3rd pylon down in the base already, things like that. So he was pretty sure that there wasn't going to be a 4-gate. But now we do see that he's going to start moving out on the map with a couple of stalkers anyways. And now it looks like Tails actually getting all the nice shots right here and going to pick off the shields, but of course those will regenerate for Loogicc. So what do we see right here? Twilight Council, we are going to see Loogicc going for a 3-gate blink stalker right here. And MVPTAILS actually going for a 2-gate Robo Expand, which is definitely a build I like. And oh, Loogicc over here, sneaky sliding this pylon right in this little gap right here, and I'm not sure that Tails is going to see this at all. And I don't Loogicc doesn't even know that his opponent has expanded. So this is going to be a little bit interesting for both players. And there we go. He's just now going to see that there is an expansion yet again, though Tails still cannot see anything. And now the Stalkers are going to start moving out across the map. One Stalker going to simply poke up from MVPTAILS. So he's going to get a good look at what's going on. But by the time he gets in here, he may be a little bit in trouble, as we can see. There we go. So he will scout the Blink Stalker. He's going to cancel the expansion, pump out the Immortal, which is the correct response. Probably Chrono Boost this Immortal out as well, if he can, I would imagine. And throwing down 2 additional gateways. So going for a 4-gate robo off of 1 base to try and counter this 3-base Blink Stalker push right here by Loogicc, and more Stalkers now being warped in, so it's going to be extremely close. What he's going to have to make sure is that he can force field down here at the bottom of the ramp, because you do not want any of these Stalkers to gain vision right up here, so they can then all forward blink all up and get an offensive blink, and that would be rough. We do have the second Immortal out though now for MVPTAILS. That's definitely what he wants, and a nice force field does go down right there. So that's going to be exactly where you want to start placing them, so these Stalkers cannot push up. In the meantime, also gonna go ahead and get a Robotics Bay out right here, so gonna get Colossus added into the mix. And he knows that Loogicc is very invested in this attack, and if he can simply get up that Colossus lead, and there we see right there, not the best force field. It was just a little bit late, and this might be costing right now for MVPTAILS. And fortunately, Loogicc does blink everything down, but there's no more energy right here for the Sentry, so he's going to try and just use some Blink Micro back, as he was able to pick off both of those Immortals. Finally, a third Immortal, or now the first Immortal, I guess, back in this army is up, so this should be enough to deal with this army, I would imagine. So he's just going to simply try and poke up, pick off whatever he can without losing too many Blink Stalkers. And will he expand behind this, or what will we see out of Loogicc? I am very curious, as I'm not sure continuing with this attack is the right move. There's a decent amount of Zealots right there. The Immortal, of course, is going to be a key for MVPTAILS to deal with this army. And once again, Loogicc just going to try and keep warping in right here, keep trying to pressure this front, but I would really like to see an expand out of him or something like that, just try and contain his opponent for a little bit of time. And in the meantime, a Colossus now about to pop out for Tails, so that is going to definitely force Loogicc to pull back, and Loogicc is definitely going to be in a worse position than had he expanded or had he tried to find a different tech path, I would imagine, as simply sitting on these Blink Stalkers versus the Colossus Zealot Immortal armor right there is not going to be enough at all. And yes, now he's going to simply have to back out and start moving back, and we'll see if he tries to get some Colossus of his own, or what his response is going to be. It's possible maybe he tries to go for something along the lines of Archons. There's a DT shrine to just get Archons and maybe slip some DTs in for some quick damage. I'm not quite sure. We'll have to see exactly what Loogicc does. Right now he seems to just be continuing to probe up on this one base and saving up his money, but no additional reinforcements. There we go. So a couple more Stalkers actually are being warped in right there. And there's the expansion. So he's going to be taking this far expansion away from MVPTAILS, and now Tails is going to start moving in with this Observer. And unfortunately for Loogicc, Tails is going to completely see his base and see there's no additional tech or anything like that going down, so he can pretty much assume that there's going to be an expansion being taken, or that his opponent has backed off and is morphing in a lot of Stalkers, which I guess he's kind of doing both at this time. So that's a pretty good read that I think Tails can get from simply having that Observer out right there. And now he's going to start pushing forward, as he does have these 3 Colossus, and that just may be too much for Loogicc to deal with. In the meantime, Loogicc is actually supply blocked, and now he's going to lose yet another pylon. So as soon as he gets unsupply blocked, he's going to be supply blocked again, though he does have 2 supply or pylons coming into the mix, and actually able to pick off a free Stalker as well. So Loogicc a little bit slack right here. Kind of leaving his units all around, and is he just going to try and go for a base trade as soon as this army pushes out? And Probe's actually being pulled by MVPTAILS, so Tails completely committing to this base trade right here, and he says, you know what, I'm going to go 100% for the base trade, but he doesn't know that Loogicc has this hidden base down at the bottom, and this is going to be a very, very, very interesting game right here. As you can see, though, Tails has brought enough money to drop an expansion down. when he does get to his opponent's base. So that's definitely something that we will have to watch for. And now the observer going to go ahead and scout right to this base of Loogicc. So Loogicc is not yet in the clear. He's not going to be safe, as that observer will see that base. And in the meantime, it's simply going to be just base race. Looks like he's trying to get something out of that robotics facility. Unfortunately, was able to go down. Now looks like Tails is going to simply move in here, clean up fairly quickly. He has a lot of DPS coming out, especially from all of these Colossus Ants army, and the probes as well, doing whatever damage they can. And in the meantime, Loogicc moving his Blink Stalkers in here to try and do damage as well, and actually morphing in some more Stalkers that he's sending on the long road to actually get over there to his opponent's base. So he's going to be able to kill off all of these buildings, I would imagine, here, as both players are just kind of trading back and forth. And it looks like Tails actually is going to leave a couple of Zealots to pick off the rest of these buildings. Another Nexus does go down for Loogicc, so he's just trying to do whatever he can. And is MVPTAILS going to drop another Nexus? Is my question. Is now he's going to start being revealed fairly shortly. Yes, he is. So what's going to happen here for Tails? He does have the money to throw down that Nexus whenever he wants, and he'll probably just wait until there's almost no buildings left, I would imagine. So now it looks like we are going to see a little bit of an engagement right here as the probes. Nope, they just run off after a quick little attack. And is that observer going to follow those probes? No, it will not, but he's going to be able to pick off this Nexus right here. The Zealots continuing to take out the buildings up top, and they should be able to take these out before these probes get back if they're going to try and defend it. Or if these probes are trying to make it over to this Nexus, I'm not quite sure. But in the meantime, Tails still has yet to throw down that Nexus, and he made us lose this game simply off of default right here. It's going to be very, very close, and that's it. That's going to be it. I can't believe that actually happened. I'm in shock right now. Was Tails... Did he think he had another building up somewhere? I'm not quite sure what Tails thought was happening. And I think Loogicc was a little confused too, as he was just moving away from that pylon. He was like, and of course there's going to be a Nexus now going down. But no, there was not. Tails tries to go over here to drop the Nexus, but he stays decently far away. I want to actually back that up. Like, can I just go like 3 seconds? So he goes to plant the Nexus and the game ends about like half a second before the Nexus goes down. So that's actually going to be it. And Loogicc, who was up 31-13 probes, he had 5 Stalkers to the 18 of his opponents, but 11 Zealots, 1 Immortal, 3 Colossus, and a Sentry. Definitely the favorable army, definitely the favorable supply. Ends up losing the game simply by not throwing down that Nexus for, oh, I can't even tell you how long that he ran around not throwing that Nexus down. So wow, that's going to be it. That's going to be the game. I'm still in shock. I can't even like end this. My name is Mr. Llama for Clan Overdosed, and as I said in my previous video, and I'm gonna keep promoting it because it's an awesome site, easystarcraft.com. You can check out my cast, you can check out other casters' casts, you can check out tutorials. They have videos for almost anything and everything. Really, really cool site, so I definitely say go check that out. And of course, follow me here if you like me. You can leave comments below, anything like that, on ways to improve, as I always want to improve my casting. And yeah, so that's going to be it. And I need a break. I'm just, wow, can't believe Tails lost that game like that. So thank you for watching, everybody.